somewhere on the top left, this is assignment number 18. So please put 1-8 or some sort of equivalent somewhere on the top. And we will rearrange it, definitely, all of your work, hopefully in December. Okay, so again, we haven't done these topics in such a long time, so this is why I kind of wanted to do this. I know some of you guys already know it. It's just good to review. We're only going to do 4 problems on it over here. The rest will be done on your own. And we will just do some selected problems. Like number 3, let's go ahead and do number 3. Okay, the instructions here is find the slope of each line. Just find the slope only. You don't need to find or write the equation. So you just want to grab the corners of the boxes. So this point would be good over here. And actually, all these points would be good over here. This one here too as well. But, you know, in the event that you pick this point is also okay too. But let's just go ahead and choose these 2 points. Okay. Students, this was a month ago. Where do you start counting? On the more right or on the more left? On the more left. Okay. So now you start going from your more left, and it looks like we have to go down. How much do you go down? 4, yes, yeah. Yep, you guys can look at your own paper as well. So we're going 4 down, and how much to the right? It's also 4 as well. Okay. What I wrote just right now, is this correct? 4 out of 4.
No.
Why not? There's a what? There's a negative sign because we're going down. And then on top of that, it is not reduced. So let's divide top and bottom by 4. So m is negative 1 over 1. This will do for number 3. Okay. We're going to jump down to number 5. Number 5 is a horizontal line. And there was a proof that we did a month ago on why it is. But for those of you who know, the slope of horizontal lines are always what number?
0.
0, yes. Okay. There's no incline, there's no decline. It's just a straight road, 0, easy walking. In contrast, number 6, this is a vertical line. Oh, what would be the slope for all vertical lines in number 6? Undefined. M is undefined. For you guys, you can also say equals undefined, but this makes a little bit more sense. Slope is undefined. All right, we're going to do one more problem on this page, and then we'll move on to the next page. Let's do number 7, because on the last test, some of you guys did not read the directions and did not get the 3 points that was associated with this type of problem. So let's go ahead and do number 7 together. Number 1 was we got to state the slope. So let's go ahead and do that. M is equal to, and then some of you guys were also doing it the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's fine, but you can also pick points. You can also pick points and count. That might be a little bit easier to do. All right, you guys told me that we have to start on the more left point, so we got to start counting over here. Based on the 2 points that I picked, what is your slope? What over what? 2 over 2, good. Oh yeah, no. You can also pick that one too. But I'm just picking these 2 points you can also pick it over here too. Any of the corners of the boxes. But if you pick the 2 points on the pink, you have to reduce. Divide top and bottom by what number? 2. So you always have to reduce. And then 2 over 2, this is just 1 over 1. You guys can leave that as a 1. That's totally fine. Okay, second part of number 7 is, if you take a look back in the instruction, we got to also state the y-intercept. So there's 3 parts to this. Y-intercept is 0 comma something. Well, here it is. So it's 0 comma what?
0.
0 comma 0. Okay, and then number 3, the third one, write the slope-intercept form of the equation. So you guys tell me what to write. Y equals something x and something. Go. 1x plus 0, your slope, and then your y-intercept. So a lot of you guys from the previous test missed that one just because you missed the 1, 2, 3. Okay? Slope, y-intercept, and then the equation. All right, that's all I want to do on this page, and it's already 5 minutes in. Students, any questions on the first page, the main topics of this first page? Any questions? Okay. All right. If there are no questions, let's move on to the next page. And again, we're only going to do sum together. Okay, I want to do the 1, 2, 3 one more time on number 9. So number 9 and 10 is also asking for slope, y-intercept, and the equation. We have a vertical line. We already said vertical lines have a slope of what?
0.
Not 0, undefined. So m is undefined. I can't spell. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2. Does this line even pass the y-axis? So what should you put for the y-intercept if it doesn't pass? None. None or NA, not applicable, none. It's not going to pass the y-intercept. But even though we have an undefined slope and no y-intercept, we can still make an equation. X equals what? X equals 1 because it passes the x-axis at 1. X equals 1. So you still need those 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Undefined, no y-intercept, but we can still make an equation. X equals 1. Okay. I definitely want to do the whole page except for number 10 because we haven't done this in so long. Number 11, we have to make an equation of a line that passes through this point over here. Here is one way. This is your x, this is your y, and we can use m as our slope. One of the famous equations to use is y equals mx plus b. And then we're just going to plug them in. Okay, students, I know I'm going a little bit fast. It's just because we've done this before. You tell me what to write right now. Go. -1 equals -1 over 7. Oh, sorry, this is -1 over 7 times what? Times 4 plus b. Sorry, that's a -1 on top. I'm going to do this one with calculator and maybe the next one's without calculator. For those who are not, again, really well with the fractions, go ahead and use the calculator. Left parentheses, -1 divided by 7, close parentheses, open it back up with the 4. You type it in as what you see. If you hit enter, how do you change this back into a fraction again? Math, enter, enter. Okay, so -4 over 7. -1 equals -4 over 7 plus b. Okay, now what can you do on both sides? Plus 4/7 on both sides. Right. On the calculator, you will write something like this, -1 plus, and then put parentheses 4 divided by 7, close that parentheses, and then let's put that back into a fraction. So -3 over 7 will be good for us. Some students on the last test stopped over here and I couldn't give them full credit. What is our final thing that we have to do? Y equals what?
Plus x plus
Minus 3.
Okay, plug in the slope and then the y-intercept that you solved for, and then that will be okay. Great. Any questions on this two-step process for number 11, which was, I think, a month and a half ago? Oh, shoot, almost 2 months ago, I think. Okay. Great. 12 and 13 are special cases, so I want to do them just because if you know it's a special case, you can avoid doing these steps 1 and 2. Take a look at number 12. Your slope is 0. If you have a slope of 0, do you have a horizontal line or a vertical line?
Horizontal.
You have a horizontal line. The equation for horizontal lines is that x equals or y equals?
Y.
Y equals, and here's the y value that we need that passes through this point, so y equals -3. That's special case number 1. So if you know that the slope is 0, you can forego or do not do all these steps over here. You can say, okay, it's a horizontal line, y equals this. Okay. In contrast to number 13, if the slope is undefined, what type of line do you have? Vertical line. The structure equation for vertical line is that y equals or x equals? X equals what number, you guys? 3, yes. We're going to finish off this page with 14 and 15. So again, we have to write the slope-intercept form. This first part over here is in function notation. So if you want to, you can rewrite this in coordinate form 4, 1. And that can be our x and that can be our y, but it's not needed to rewrite them. If you want something that is parallel, do you want the negative reciprocal of the slope or do you want the same slope? It should be the same slope. You're going in the same direction, you want the same slope. You have now the 3 pieces you need to do y equals mx plus b. Okay, you guys tell me what to write. Ready, go.
1 equals 3/4 times 4
Plus b, yes. Some of you guys on the last test wrote -5. We don't write -5 over here because we don't even know if that's the y-intercept. That's what we're trying to solve for. Okay, I'm going to do this by hand, so no calculator. For those who are doing no calculator, you can do this as 4/1 plus b. Okay, can the 4's cross out over here? Yes, so this is 1, this is 1. Okay. 3 times 1 is 3 on the top. 1 times 1 is 1 on the bottom. So that's 3/1, but we can just write that as a 3. Because it's a positive 3, we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. B is equal to -2. So just like on number 11, you guys said that we are not done. We're totally not done. So then our final equation, y equals 3/4 x minus 2. Some of you guys got confused with number 15, like you forgot like what 2 lines were we supposed to graph. You're going to graph the line that's given to you first, and then you graph the answer that you just solved for. So I'm just going to do the original equation in hot pink over here, and let's graph that on number 15. So our y-intercept on the hot pink is -5, and then you're going to go 3 up, 4 to the right. So 3 up and then 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And yes, you can take out your straight edge or protractor ruler. And then the answer that we had, the 3/4 x minus 2, let me go graph that right now in light green, neon green. I'm going to start at -2, and it's the same slope, 3 up, 4 to the right. And if done correctly, your lines should not be intersecting. Okay, these were the main topics for page number 2. So scan page number 2 for the main topics. Any questions on the main ideas for page 2? Any questions? Okay, let's do some of the main ideas for page 3. Number 16, I'm going to do it partially, but not all of it. Okay, we have in function notation g of 5 is equal to 2. Again, if you need to rewrite it, it'll be 5 comma 2. Okay. What does perp mean?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. And so that was also one of the mistakes that some of you guys made. Some of you guys took the same slope and then you had parallel lines over here and it should be perpendicular. Please change this into your negative reciprocal. So 5 over 1 totally becomes what? Negative 1 over 5. We need the negative reciprocal. Okay. I'm not going to do it, but I'll just set it up. And then it's going to be the same steps. You're going to use y equals mx plus b and plug in those numbers either by hand or through a calculator. So 2 equals negative 1 over 5 times 5 plus b. And I'm just going to put dot, dot, dot over here because on the last 30 minutes, then you guys will complete this on your own. Okay, so just put dot, dot, dot. You'll complete it on your own. Okay. Any questions on the setups for number 16? Any questions? Any questions? Before we leave number 16, some of you guys also had a difficult time graphing something like this. So on the original equation, y equals 5x, if you don't see a y-intercept, you're going to add 0 over here. So you'll start on 0, and then your slope is 5 up, 1 to the right. Okay. All right, we will do one more together, and that's number 20. Maybe after number 20, let's go take a mental health break of 2 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. Let's do number 20, and then we'll take a small break. Okay. Number 20, we got to get the slope, and then we got to write the equation. Okay. So it's got to go through these 2 points. So we can label this as x1, y1, and then x2, y2. Okay, so we're at number 20. So we have to get the slope because the instruction says, what is the slope formula again? M is equal to over x2 minus x1. And the mistake I saw last test was some of you guys flipped it around. Some of you guys put the x2 minus x1 on the top. Okay, and I just couldn't give you guys any credit. So please be careful with the order of that. Okay, once you have the correct order, you tell me what to write. Ready, go. 5 minus negative 3 all over 4 minus 5. Good. Okay, 5 minus negative 3. That minus sign always stays. 4 minus 5. Let's just do some PEMDAS. This becomes plus 3 now. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. This is 8 over negative 1. And we can just simplify that to negative 8. We got 2 y values to choose from on our second step. The first person to shout it out, I guess, give me a y value. Go ahead. 5, okay, we can choose 5. 5 equals, your slope was negative 8. All right, if you chose 5 for your y, what has got to be your x? 4. It cannot be the other 5 over here. You cannot mix and match. So it has to be corresponding points. You either pick 4, 5, or 5, negative 3. Do not mix them. Okay, I think this is going to come out to a nice number, no fractions, which is good. 5 equals negative 32 plus b. And we're almost done with this. We're just going to add 32 on both sides. It's a good thing we're not graphing this. The y-intercept is at 0, 37. No way, I'm not graphing that. Okay. Let's go take the 2-minute mental health break, and then we'll start at 2 o'clock again. Okay, we'll start at 2 o'clock.